Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet a penguin granny square, which was a request I received. I've worked it in 8-ply yarn and the size is 13 centimeters square or 5 inches square. I'll be using my granny square to make a baby blanket. Using 8-ply yarn, which is also DK yarn. I've got 100-gram balls. I've got black, light blue, white and orange. You don't need much for one granny square. I've got a 4mm crochet hook, a darning needle to weave in the ends, scissors and black and white thread and a sewing needle to stitch the eyes on and the white dot in the middle of the eyes. We start in the centre of the circle. We make a circle to square granny first with a white centre and then we add the blue round it. Now I've got my white and we start with a magic loop, or you could start with 3 or 4 chain and join with a slip stitch if you prefer. There's lots of ways to make a magic loop, so make it how you feel most comfortable. I just put my hook on the yarn, bring the short end over the hook and the long end over the short end to make a circle. Yarn around the hook and bring my hook with the yarn at the end through the circle. And then we work 2 chain. We're going to work 12 double crochet into our circle. A double crochet is a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook in through the circle and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook. Take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Yarn around the hook. Hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. So we need 11 more double crochet in our circle. The 2 chain doesn't count as a stitch, so we'll have 12 double crochet. Now that's my 12 double crochet. We pull our circle in now, so we take hold of this tail and just ease it in as tight as we can, and then we join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch, so not the 2 chain, this first stitch here. So put your hook into the stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. For row 2 we start with 2 chain. Now that doesn't count as a stitch. Then we work 2 double crochet in each stitch. We'll have 24 stitches. So 2 double crochet in the stitch where we joined and 2 double crochet into each remaining stitch. There'll be 24 stitches. Now that's my 24 stitches. We join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch. And that's row 2 done. Now for row 3, which is the last row of our circle, we start with 2 chain. That doesn't count as a double crochet again. We work 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our join and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Then we work 2 double crochet into the following stitch. And we're going to work like that right around. 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches and 2 double crochet into the following stitch all the way around. Now we'll have 32 stitches and we need to make sure we have got 32 stitches. So 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches and 2 double crochet into the following stitch. And just repeat that around. 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches and 2 double crochet into the following stitch. And just work like that right around. Now we finish with 2 double crochet into the last stitch and then we join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch and fasten off. And that's the circle part done. I'll just weave in the ends and I'll be back with my light blue and we'll work the 3 rows around the circle. Now for row 4, that's the first row of the outside. We join our light blue to any stitch in the back loop only. I'm going to join just after the join there. Now this is a front loop here and this is a back loop. So we're joining in the back loop because we'll be working our penguin into the front loop. So just bring a loop through there and then we work 3 chain. Now that does count as a double crochet. Now we'll be working into our back loops only all the way around. We work 1 double crochet into the same stitch as our join, one half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. A half double crochet is a half treble. Using UK terms, for a half double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook into the next stitch through the back loop only and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to work 1 single crochet into each of the following 3 stitches A single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet, we put the hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, and take the hook with the yarn at the end through both loops. So one single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches as well. Then 1 half double crochet into each of the following 2 stitches. And then 2 double crochet into the next stitch. And then work 2 chain and 2 more double crochet into that same stitch. So that's our corner stitch. This is half a corner and this is a full corner stitch. Now we work 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. We're still working in the back loops only all the way around. 1 single crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. One half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to work another corner stitch. So 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 chain and 2 double crochet into that same stitch. And then 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. 1 single crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. One half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And now we'll be working our next corner. So 2 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 chain and 2 double crochet into that same stitch. Then 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. And then 1 half double crochet into each of the last 2 stitches. Now we're going to finish this first corner. So we work 2 double crochet into our first stitch worked. Work 1 chain and work 1 single crochet in our third chain, so that top chain there. And that's row 4 done, our first row of the outside. For row 5 we start with 3 chain, that counts as a double crochet, and then work 1 double crochet in this loop to the loop where we work the 1 chain and the single crochet just next to our chain. We work 1 double crochet in the join, and then we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of our stitches along here. Now we should have 11 double crochet, not counting the chain and the first one. And then we work 2 double crochet into the 2 chain loop. Work 2 chain and then 2 double crochet into that same loop. And then work 1 double crochet into each of the 11 stitches along the side. And then we work another corner of 2 double crochet, 2 chain and 2 double crochet in the next loop. So 2 double crochet, 2 chain and 2 double crochet. And then work 1 double crochet in each of the 11 stitches along this next side. Work 2 double crochet, 2 chain and 2 double crochet into our next 2 chain loop. And work 1 double crochet into each of the 11 stitches along the side. Work 2 double crochet into the next corner. Work 1 chain and work a single crochet in the 3rd chain, so the chain at the top, and that's our 2nd row done. Now for row 6 we start with 3 chain, that counts as a double crochet, and we work 1 double crochet next to the 3 chain, then we work 1 double crochet into the join and 1 double crochet into each of the 14 stitches left along that side. Into the corner we work 2 double crochet, 2 chain and 2 double crochet. And then work 1 double crochet in each of the 15 stitches along the side. Into the corner we work 2 double crochet, 2 chain and 2 double crochet. And work 1 double crochet into each of the 15 stitches on the side. And work another corner of 2 double crochet, 2 chain and 2 double crochet. And then work 1 double crochet in each of the 15 stitches along the last side. Work 2 double crochet into that next space. Work 2 chain and then slip stitch in the 3rd chain and then fasten off. And that's the circle to square granny finished. I'll just weave in the ends and I'll be back and we'll work the head. Now we're going to be working the white part of the head. It's going to be worked in the front loops we left of the circle. Now we find the middle stitch on one of the sides and go back 3 and we join in there. Now I like to leave extra yarn to weave in the ends a bit more for this because we're working trebles and they're quite far apart and I just like to weave them in a bit better than I normally would. Now we start with 4 chain and we're going to be working in the front loops only left on the circle. I leave my tail on this side and we're going to work a join treble over the same stitch as the join and the next 3 stitches. A treble is a double treble using UK terms. We put the yarn around the hook twice, hook into the same stitch as the join and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook, take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then yarn around the hook twice, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. There's 3 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook twice, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook through 2 loops. There's now 4 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook twice, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, hook through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook through 2 loops. We've got 5 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. Then we work 4 chain. And we slip stitch into that same stitch as the last part of the joined treble. Then we work 4 chain, and we're going to work another joined treble over the same stitch as our chain and the next 3 stitches. So the same as we have just worked. So I've got the 4 and I go through all the loops. Then we work 4 chain and slip stitch in the same stitch as the last part of the joined treble, and we fasten off. I leave a longer tail again to weave it in. And that's the head done. When I'm weaving in, I just weave the stitches together a bit and weave that bit down and the 2 side bits down a bit, just so there's not so many gaps. So I'll do that and we'll be back and we'll do the black around the body. Now for the body, we join 12 stitches before the first stitch of the head, so just work back and just in that front loop left. Work 1 chain and then we'll be working into the front loops. We work 1 single crochet in the same stitch as the join and then 1 single crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. 1 half double crochet into the following stitch, and then we'll be working 2 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So 2 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. One double crochet into the following stitch, and 1 half double crochet into the last stitch of the circle. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch up around the head to the last stitch of the first side. Now we're going to work a joined single crochet over the last stitch of the first side and the first stitch of the second side. So put your hook into the last stitch of the first side and bring up a loop, and then hook into the first stitch of the second side and bring up a loop. Yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through the 3 loops, and then work 1 single crochet in each remaining stitch around the second side. It can be easier to use a size or 2 finer hook for neatening rows, or this kind of thing. It just makes it a bit easier to get into the stitch. Then work 1 half double crochet in the first stitch of the circle, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. 1/2 double crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into each of the following 4 stitches. Work 1 chain and slip stitch in the same stitch as the last single crochet and fasten off. And that's around the body done. Now for this right arm, we join our black 3 stitches down from the head. So in this stitch here, and work 7 chain. Miss 2 chain and work 1/2 double crochet into each of the next 3 chain. And then a join double crochet over the last 2 chain. So put your yarn around the hook, hook into the next chain and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take your hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Yarn around the hook, hook into the last chain and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook. Take your hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. There's 3 loops left, put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. Then miss 1 stitch on the body and then slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten off. And for the left arm, we join 5 stitches down from the head and we work 6 chain. We miss 2 chain and work 1/2 double crochet in each of the next 3 chain. And 2 double crochet into the last chain. And then miss 1 stitch on the body and slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten off. And that's the 2 arms done. While I've got the black, I'll just work the eyes. For the eyes, we make a magic loop and work 1 chain, then work 3 single crochet into our circle. We pull the circle tight and join with a slip stitch in the chain. And fasten off. We've just got a little circle. And the other eyes made the same. We make a magic loop and work 1 chain and work 3 single crochet into our circle. We pull the circle tight and join with a slip stitch in the top of the top of the chain. And fasten off. Now I'll weave in the ends and I'll be back with the orange and we'll work the feet and the beak. Now for the feet I've got my orange, and for the right side we join 3 stitches back. So in here we work 3 chain and then slip stitch in the same stitch and then slip stitch into the next stitch. Work 3 chain, slip stitch into the same stitch and then slip stitch in to the last stitch and work 3 chain and then slip stitch into the same stitch. And fasten off. And for the other side we join in the first stitch. We work 3 chain and slip stitch into that same stitch and then we slip stitch into the next stitch we work 3 chain and slip stitch into the same stitch. We slip stitch into the next stitch. We work 3 chain and then slip stitch into the same stitch and fasten off. And that's the feet done. Now for the beak, we work it and then we bend it over and stitch through the centre. I've still got my orange and I leave a bit of a tail because I'm using that to stitch it down, and I work 7 chain. I work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, 1 half double crochet into the next chain, 1 double crochet into each of the following 2 chain, one half double crochet into the next chain, and 1 single crochet into the last chain, and fasten off, leaving a bit of a longer tail. When I weave in the ends, I just weave these 2 tails down to the centre of the beak, and then I'll use them to stitch it down. Now I'll weave in the rest of the ends that need to be woven in, and I'll be back and we'll put it together. Now there's the pieces. We've got the granny square, the beak and the two eyes. The first thing I do is add white dots in the centre of these eyes. Next we just add the eyes in that space up there. We need to leave some space for the beak to go just in there. So fairly close to the top there. The last thing you do is attach the beak just in the middle there, and you could just put a little stitch down for the feet and the arms if you'd like. So I'll do that and I'll be back to show you the finished granny square. There's the finished granny square. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Patreon. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my website where I have my patterns and the details of my Facebook group. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.